Imagine everyone collaborating, putting students in the center. CBE Ignited, making it possible.
Good morning and welcome to CBE Ignited's podcast. I appreciate our guests today, Jessica Enderson and Richard DeLorenzo from CBE Ignited's team. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Roxy.
So in today's world, education leaders are struggling at best. Many are courageous and doing the best they can or doing awesome stuff. But having that steps of what do I do next, where I'm at right now, you two are writing a book on leadership, which I appreciate, and it will hopefully it will give the education leaders something to look forward to. So Richard and Jessica, can you explain a little bit about the book you're writing and what the goal is?
Jessica, go ahead.
Okay. You're good at that, Rich. Rich and I are excited to share with leaders a book that we hope is more than just about advice as a leader. I think we have enough of that. We have a lot of that as leaders. We're busy. And I feel that each and every day, there's always those crises, situations that leaders are working through. They're busy. But what Rich and I are really passionate about is we want to first recognize where they're at, but we want to take that next step in that journey with them. And how can we help them become the best leaders? How can we help them become the best version of themselves? And that's really what this book is about. It's about hope for them as a person with their system, whatever their situation, whatever their role, teacher, building leader. We just want to help them improve and get better. And then also recognize we've all been at different stages of leadership. And so we want to make sure that we bring to light, what does it look like when you're a first year building principal and you're just trying to survive? And then what are some tools and strategies that we can help provide to help them move really to that next stage? So we're excited about this. It's something that we're all passionate about, and I can't wait to get the book out in the hands of leaders. Rich, what did I miss?
Thanks, Jessica. I just think that we're at a critical time in our educational platform in terms of policies and attrition rate and financial crisis. And so what we've tried to do is, from our experiences, is being in leadership roles, both as a teacher, principal, and a superintendent, is we're trying to take all the lessons learned that we didn't have to help those future leaders be much more successful in their journey. And as Jessica talked about, it's a really hands-on tools and processes that you can use today. And we just have never found anything that can do that does it as comprehensively of what we're trying to do. See, again, we think everybody plays in a leadership role. It's just not acknowledged because perhaps the title isn't given to you. But as a teacher, as an administrator at a school or at a state or a country level, these steps, these 5 steps that we take people through, apply to everyone, whether it's educational or not educational. It applies just to human nature and human growth. And so that's our goal, is to try to identify those people that want to improve their trajectory. What are some steps they can take? The first thing we're trying to do is create a needs assessment to determine kind of where are you on this trajectory, and then provide a roadmap to how to get to the different phases. And if you're comfortable staying at that phase, that's fine. But we're trying to inspire people, try to give people a roadmap of how to really make significant change, whether it's in a classroom, a school, at a state level, or even at a national level. So Jessica, what are the key 5 areas?
Yeah, so we broke the book into 5 stages, and it really is about where you're at and, again, helping you get better. So the first stage that we have is survival, and that's really about, we term it just trying to make it until Friday. And so there are so many things coming at you as a new leader, or maybe someone that's been in their position for a while. I shouldn't, just say new leader, but this is really where every leader starts. What's different is the amount of time that we spend in this stage. And so the survival stage is not pleasant. It's not necessarily fun. And we don't see lasting change and positive impact on learners. The second stage is stability. And that's really where you start to feel like you've found your footing, you've built some relationships, really what's next. And so you're not putting out the day-to-day fires. You have some strategies, you have some tools, maybe processes in place, but you've moved beyond the kind of running around and things are moving in all different directions and you don't know how to keep up, to now you have, some control. The third stage is really where we start to see great impact, and that is the spark innovation stage. So that's where we start asking ourselves, we've been in our role for a while, we've built relationships, we have some tools and processes. We start to recognize that what we're doing isn't maybe best for learners. And so we start asking the question, what else could be possible? And that's a really exciting phase or stage in the leadership growth curve, because you start to recognize and see yourself in a different way, really shifting from a manager to a leadership role. And that's exciting. Again, I feel that that's where the magic really starts to happen. Go ahead, Rich.
In the spark innovation, there's two components to it, Roxy, that are really important to recognize. So one, when you spark innovation, is it going to be an incremental spark? Is it going to be something you can do without changing your system? That's a low risk and medium reward. It's really important to recognize the innovation you're trying to spark. Or is it going to be something dramatically different where you actually are changing the system? So what we'd like to do is help both of those leaders, whether you're a teacher, principal, or superintendent, or a manager of an organization, to really take those into consideration. And again, we're trying to give people a clear guidelines on how to go to that real systemic change to really have a huge impact. So I think that's really, as Jessica said, I think that's the most important stage of all the stages that we have.
Yeah, I agree, Rich. Then our fourth stage is sustainability. And so that's where the work can continue when the leader isn't in the room. And so in order for this stage to happen, you have to have really strong tools and processes and systems in place to make things move forward when you aren't the constant decision maker and you don't have to be a part of all of the meetings. And then finally, it's stage 5, the significant stage. So recognizing and understanding that this is really bigger than just me. And now you're leaving that legacy, you're training and you're modeling other future leaders or current leaders to help kind of walk them through the stages of leadership and how you can positively shift and impact learners through the decisions that you make. So those are the 5 stages in our leadership growth curve book. We're hopeful that they're helpful, and we're excited to help, again, walk leaders through those. Go ahead, Rich.
And just to add to the last trait of significance, it's not only about the legacy building, but it's really about scaling. If you've really done something significant, how do you scale that innovation to help many more people, many more organizations to become world class? And I think it's oftentimes in the years we've been doing this work and helping organizations, we think a lot of the ones, we get them there and they kind of get stuck. So we want to try to help them embrace continuous improvement, how to be future focused, how to empower the next generation of leaders coming up. And I think most people never get there. So we're real excited that we do have organizations we've worked with in the past that are at that level right now. So.
Nice. So there's a lot of organizations out there that are consultants or help with education change. What makes CBE Ignited unique?
Well, I think one of the things that makes us unique is just our experience. We have led systems, we've coached systems, all different sizes, all different geographic locations. So we've done the heavy lifting. And with that, we've made the mistakes and we've learned from those mistakes. And so the 3 of us combined have, decades of experience in working with CBE systems. The other thing that I'll say is we're not just about the theory of transitioning to competency-based education. It's practical steps that we can take How is this going to affect you today? What can you do tomorrow? And so breaking it up into small micro steps that seem manageable, because we're all busy. Leaders are busy. They have a lot on their plate, and that can be very stressful. It's a huge undertaking. So we're really looking at it with a systems lens, a systems focus, and helping, guide them through modeling tools and, how that can positively impact them. So those would be a couple of the things that I would say that make us unique. But yeah, Rich, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I do think that the experience that we have, I agree that we can help you from the ground level, what it looks like in a classroom, to the top level, what it looks like at a state or at a country. And in whether that impacts policies, finances, outcomes, I think that's what really sets us apart from other organizations. And we've all walked in it. We've all have created classrooms, we've created schools, and we've helped support other organizations. And we really know how to help guide people along that journey to try to help them reach their full potential. Um, I think the other thing Jessica said is the whole thing about the mistakes is we've learned a lot, over these decades, and I just think we're much more efficient and we're much more laser-like into trying to guide and assist people on their journeys.
Awesome. I can't wait for the book to come out. Thank you so much. Any final words, Richard?
No, I just kind of just feel there's a desperate need to help people in the next generation to become better leaders. And so this is our attempt to try to provide that inspiration. So,
Jessica?
Yeah, I'm excited, as Rich said. The biggest, I think, most rewarding aspect of this book is just to help leaders understand and recognize that they're not alone, that they're not stuck, that there is hope, that we can help guide them with the next step through stories, mistakes, and then just some indicators to help them move to the next level. So I'm excited for the book. It's been really fun to write, and excited to get it in the hands of leaders.
Nice. And I know that there's a lot of leaders out there doing amazing things. How cool that they can have a coach on the side to help with their next steps. So thank you both for being here, and we look forward to keeping in touch.
Thanks, Roxy.
Thank you for making a difference today with CBE Ignited.